Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forged Alliance Forever. Today, I have a 5v5 custom match here on the most amazing Neuroxis map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1 here in the northeast section of the map, ending with Team 2 in the southwest. I'm going to slow it down just a little bit so we don't miss any of that early action. So let's go ahead and introduce our players, starting off with the Batman Gray player here for Team 1. It is the melee, not to be confused with the wheelie, going first land as a UEF. Man after my own heart, he is a 1900. To his northeast in Emerald Green, we have the player of Orb going as another UEF player here, going first land, and he is a 2100 here for his team. In the rear, go to air slot here for Team 1. I have to keep scrolling north. There we go. We have Gamer9 Triple X going first air. Very reasonable because he is in the rear air slot. He is going in Ruby Red, and he is a 1400 as an Aeon. To his southwest, another Aeon for Team 1. We have Immortal D going first air as well. Kind of an interesting play. Usually we don't see... I mean, he is kind of further back, so maybe first air is kind of warranted. But again, maybe he'll be the second kind of pseudo air player here for Team 1. He is in Regal Purple. I've changed it from Royal Purple, because I kind of like the word Regal a lot better. And again, he is a 1100 here on Team 1 in Regal Purple. And last but not least, for Team 1 in Stitch Blue, we have Azuros tied for the highest rated player on Team 1 with Orb going first land as a Cybran second land as well. And again, he is a 2100 in Stitch Blue as a Cybran. So for Team 1 side of things, they don't have any Seraphim. They do have 2 Aeon, 2 UEF, and 1 Cybran. In the southwest-ish of Azuros, we have the player of Pavor going first land, second land as well in Tropical Ocean Blue as an Aeon. He is the highest rated player in the game at 2300. And again, he is an Aeon. To his south in Snow White, we have the Cybran player of Sanoman going first air. He is a 1500. Again, he is a Cybran. In the rear guard air slot here for Team 2 as a UEF, we have the player of Hyper 2001 in Emerald Green, a man after my own heart, both in faction and in color. Going first land, second air, he is a 1400. To his east, already on the move, we have Twitchimofo going first land as the first, and I think only Seraphim of the game. Will that give Team 2 the advantage? We'll have to see as time goes on. Again, he is in Pac-Man Yellow, and he is another 1400 like his teammate of Hyper 2001. And to his east, walking through his base, we have a Rekather going first land, second land, third air, fourth, fifth, sixth land. All the lands here for Rekather here. He is in lightish red, pink, and he is a 1700 as a Cybran. You know, trying to walk away from that Twitchimofo, trying to chase him down. So for Team 2 side of things, they have all of the races represented here in this game with a double Cybran representation. So we have one of each of the factions except for Cybrans, where there are 2 of them. Let's go ahead and take a look at Reclaim here before the action gets started here. We have 22,000 Reclaim. So a little bit over 2.2k mass per player. That's a decent chunk of mass, especially in a 10-player game. And in terms of mass point layouts, well, I mean, a lot of them are residing essentially in the secondary line, the, you know, very close to home base, I would say. There are a few mexes kind of on the outskirts here. A couple of trimexes here. We have at least 1, 2, 3, and 4 for our players to claim. There's a couple of, you know, mexes on the edges of the map that players can go after, but I think what's going to end up happening is we're going to have a huge movement to the north and to the west here for, of course, Azuros and Pavor trying to claim the corner. There are some civilian structures that will be nice reclaim as well. And in terms of the middle, we have a drop already on the move here for Sanoman, trying to get that early, you know, expansion out before his opponent of Immortal D. But, you know, it's not going to be a lot of I mean, there'd be some conflict over mexes, especially in the Northwest, but realistically, we're going to have players, post up on their front lines, like, this is mine, this is yours, you're not crossing this line kind of thing. Janus Times saying orb, maybe he's going for T2 air shortly. I don't see an air facility online. Maybe he's talking about to his other players. But we're not going to see a lot of pushback back and forth, not really a lot of fighting over mexes for the majority of the game, at least for the, early to probably mid stage of the game. Let's go ahead and change this back to 0 sim speed. Dead even. Let's go see what's going on. And just like I said, we are having a push from both players here on this northwest side of the map. Azeros and Pavor having at it, using the walls to his advantage to avoid that ranged advantage from the Aurora here from Pavor. We are trying to just see more Mantis are shooting in all the time, of course, trying to claim this position, trying to lock out some of those early engineers from trying to claim those mexes. The column of Azeros hasn't left his main base, unlike his opponent, Pavor, who has already moved and is almost in that civilian structure area. What's kind of nice about that, I don't mean to zoom in and out all the time, is he could build a couple of T1 PD, behind these walls that are already built for him. And he's already kind of starting to reclaim those structures, of course, and it provides a nice, solid facility. You can put a shield in the middle, build a couple of factories around that, maybe some TMD or artillery. So it's a nice, solid position, to be fair. So I wouldn't be surprised to see one or both of the comms try to do some sort of, base that's kind of already been established here for that side of the map. It does look like we're going to have two comms here down the middle of the lane here for Team 1 versus the only Team 2 player of Sanoman pushing on that middle side, or that middle lane. It does look like we are having Twitchy kind of just skirting on the edges, but really realistically sitting in the eastern side of things. But it does look like Team 2's Rekather has at least not taken everything as of yet. We do see a drop out here from Orb. I would have he is going to go for reclaim and then just do attack moves all which way around to try to claim as much as he can. He probably won't get a lot of work done as long as he's not spotted, but I wouldn't be surprised. Actually, that is not Orb. That is Team 2's Hyper. Sorry, the colors confused me for a second. Apologies for those who are like, that's not Orb, that's Hyper. Apologies for that. Of course, Team 2 knows where he is because he's on the team. Gotta have a mistake in there early in the game, and making sure that I'm human and not a robot. It's always good you don't have that mistake. Because I'm not perfect, and it's because of all of you that I try to improve, and sometimes I make a mistake like that, and I go, oh, that was bad, and go, that was the best idea. Maybe I should have checked the colors for a brief second. But a quick glance does mess with the eyeballs sometimes. We do have a couple of pawns here, so I wouldn't be surprised to see one comm at least try to hide. We do have a couple of units here from Rekather going all the way around, taking the long ways. And really, there are a couple of T1 Mexes, engineers that really are just kind of exposed. There's one striker and one snoop. That's it. Really guarding this eastern side. Team 1's, who is that? That'd be Mealy, needs to shore up that side of things. Of course, there's again a 2v1 scenario. Nice engagement here in the middle between our players of the Regal Purple Immortal D and the Snow White Sanoman. Does look like it's starting to favor Team 2 Sanoman a little bit. Of course, as time goes on, we have Orb and we have Immortal D and Gamer 9. So 3 comms in the middle. That's a lot of firepower. Each comm early on is roughly worth about 20 tanks, so essentially 60 tanks against 20, I'd say, here from Sanoman, plus, of course, the additional forces incoming here from Immortal D. But Team 2's Pavor has at least claimed his side of things. There's a small group of units coming in here for Azeros, and he's going for a speed and range kind of very far forward with no real support. Nuke takes a pot shot out of him, but that doesn't really do anything because it doesn't do a lot of damage. It's going to sit there and be like, well, it was like a leaf or something that hit his chassis. That's essentially what it probably felt like. Gun speed and range on the way here for Twitchy Mofo and for Sanoman. So Cybern Commanders going for their upgrades. at about the 7.5, 8 minute mark. Does look like Immortal D finishes that gun and range, speed and range separately. No damage on that. We have a T1 bomber flying overhead just to have some damage. Not a lot, but of course we have, I think that Sandalman does have his gun as well, so both comms will just throw pod shots at one another. Immortal D should go for the advanced range to give him that nice little boost in fire. Well, not necessarily firepower, but the ability to be a little more versatile with the range. As you can see, if I pause it here just for a brief second. See, this is the range, obviously. The vision that he has is what he can hit. And in terms of Sandalman, if the game will let me... No, he won't let me switch over. Oh, there it goes. It won't let me switch over when it's paused. Same kind of thing. So neither comm can see each other. So essentially, they're sitting right outside their visions. They could almost see one another, but unfortunately, if Sandalman's opponent of Immortal D does not go for range, they're fine. But if he does, Sandalman will have to retreat, at least for now, because he will have that slight disadvantage. We can switch back to pause. Just want to point that out here in a minute. We're in a game with pretty high-level players from 1100 to 23, so, players know what they're doing. They know how the game works. They know the advantages and disadvantages for every faction and upgrades and all of that. But just as I pointed out, gun, advanced range going on the way here for Immortal. And he's right in front of his units who can easily redeploy in front of him. And, of course, we have Gamer9 that can come and assist. I think Orb is going to start shifting eastward to assist his teammate of the Melee. Melee's getting pummeled. He's going for a gun upgrade. Actually, not gun. I think he's going for Nano. I didn't. The text isn't on my screen, so I don't know what it is. Oh, I saw it for a second. Yeah, Nano. He's going for Nano. Just trying to be a little more aggressive. Of course, it is a 2v1 scenario. We have both of these comms have gun upgrades, and the Melee will just finish that Nano very quickly. Will now get up to 50 hit points a second. Has T1 PD for assistance. Will shove Twitchy Mofo back a little bit, but the nice group of forces here for Team 2's Rekather and a couple here from Twitchy. He's not alone in this. There are some Janus over the top here for Orb, so it does look like he was talking about himself earlier on. And the Melee, again, it's 2v1. He has Nano, 50 hit points a second, does a lot, but Rekather has pushed pretty far forward. Units coming in for the player of Melee, trying to come and take out Rekather. Gets a reclaim order off, overcharge. The Twitchy Mofo trying to use his comm as essentially a wall, but that comm, oh, there he goes, falls below, a couple hundred hit points, and those trackers do kill him off. Rekather has been defeated by the Melee. It's now a 5v4 in favor of Team 2. We have, of course, the Melee surrounded by a couple of units. Doesn't really matter a whole lot. Janus over the top of Twitchy Mofo. He's going to hide in the water. Janus coming after him. Will this be a double kill essentially here for Team 1? And one more burst. There it goes. It's another kill here for Team 1. It is a 5v3 at 10.5 minutes. Orb gets the kill on Twitchy Mofo. We have some, silver linings here for Team 2. It does look like some forward momentum is occurring here for the northwest section of the map. So they're not out of this yet, but it's losing two comms, especially a 17 and a 1400. It's gotta hurt. They still have their highest rated player, Pavor, but 5v3 scenario this early on. The downside is it gives a lot of eco to the highest rated player of Team 2's Pavor. And so he already has T3 land pretty much right before this already happened, or had a little boost and was able to kind of jumpstart it. But having Harbingers at 11 minutes on the front lines when your opponent only has T2 hoplites is huge. It's huge. Pavor does have a shield on that gun comm. I would love to see, of course, the advanced range from the Aeon commander. But Nano is coming online here for Sandalman. Immortal D trying to push forward with his advanced range. Gamer9 is going to come in with his comm. He has no upgrades. He has the disadvantage of that. Nano will finish off, so give him a hefty amount of hit points per second. But of course, two comms, one of them being gun, huge advanced range on that gun comm. Of course, the Aeon Sniper Commander of Immortal D. And of course, the Nano does finish. And I don't know if he'll push forward or not. Of course, 78 hit points a second is nothing to scoff at. Gamer9 should go at least for the standard range and speed. Maybe that has to go for advanced range. That is a lot of resources to devote to that, but at least something to assist a lot better on the front lines. He is focused on air. I do understand that. He needs to get his air forces out immediately. It looks like he's a little bit behind his mirror of, let's see, Hyper 2001. He's, Hyper 2001's doing pretty good. He has a couple of ASFs on station. Maybe we'll see a strap bomber here pretty soon. No, it's just going to be spy planes and ASFs. I do understand that because of the not evacuation, the departure of 2 players here on the southern side. Very weak in terms of management, so Team 1 is able to steamroll a lot of this position. Spam starting to be kind of pumped out of those factories, but not a lot of attention is going to be, paid to this. Couple of bricks coming on station. Does look like Pavor just, again, sped up those T3 upgrades to start pumping out heavier tech units just to help, stave off the incoming vultures that are inbound here from Team 1. We have T3 online here for Azuros trying to pump out, of course, his own, version of armigers, which are the bricks. Very beefy units, slow moving, but do fire a lot of rounds very quickly. Azuros trying to stay in lockstep with his opponent. If his opponent's going north, he's going north. If he's going south, he's going to go south. And those bricks are starting to surround Azuros. He has the stealth. He does not have the nano. I feel like that's a missed opportunity here, Azuros. You could go for nano. I do know you want to save this position, but that's not. There's no saving that. And so, going for that upgrade would be better. Just as survivability alone, let alone anything else that might happen in this game. Don't want any snipes or anything of the sort. Xenoman trying to assault on Mortal D's T1 forces. I see a couple of T2 forces, and that Mortal D is severely lacking in hit points. Only 16 hit points a second. He needs the shield. Aeons do lack the speed at which they recover hit points, so you gotta mitigate that with additional hit points with the shield. Maybe they get a nano. I would assume he does because everyone else does, but you have to sacrifice. I think it's the speed upgrade. I can't remember. Those who are Aeon mains, please let me know down in the comments. I don't know that much about all of the upgrades for the Aeon. Of course, I know they get a teleporter, and I know they get, of course, the advanced range, advanced shield, speed, but I don't know all of them. I would assume, because everyone else gets a nano. UEF, Cybern, and Seraphim. Well, obviously the Seraphim, they get advanced nano, which is just ridiculous. Anyway. That, advanced nano Seraphim Commander is just deadly. Just due to the fact that the 50,000+ hit points, it's ridiculous. But Pavor, alone by himself, has the regular range and speed. Of course, Azuros doesn't have nano, but has stealth. So only vision at this point, or, of course, Omni will detect him for now. So he can stay kind of a little bit at range, but of course more and more bricks trying to consolidate around the commander. Sniper bots coming online here will definitely assist in pushing Team 1's Azuros back. Of course, we have Team 1's player of Orb and Melee on the west side of this pond here. That will give them 2 things. One, deny the enemy's ability to, go into the water, considering we saw that from earlier on, which was what happened to Twitchy Mofo. But it also gives them a fallback point, like, oh, I'll just go hide in the water. Why not? And can also put a couple of AA, put some cruisers here. We have Aeon and, there's not Aeon, UEF and UEF, so get some cruisers up, get those governors, just start pumping out missiles would be a very good idea. A brick versus a Titan never really goes one way for the Titan. Usually only goes for the brick. It does look like Pavor's just trying to stave off the threat. We can see it's starting to keep pushing westward. And I feel like as long as Team 1 can keep kind of, poking and prodding and slowly pushing back Team 2 on this eastern side, they'll be able to just crush whatever's back here and just leave a very open, gap for Team 2 to deal with. Missile inbound going after T2 Mass Extractor. Love to see those. Missile harassment, forcing the enemy to build T2, TMD, all of that. We see, what's going on over here? Something's going on over there. A couple of units got back there or something. I don't know exactly what happened, but it was dealt with a huge issue, I guess. We see a bunch of units coming in from the wall section here. It's not looking good here for Azuros. He's being double teamed, and the comm of Azuros does go down to Hyper 2001s. I think that was probably strat bombers, I would guess. If not, either some T2 gunships or something. He is UEF. Probably not Stingers, so probably strat bombers. PD and Loyalists as Azuros. Yeah, they need assistance. T1 streaming into the base. Sorry, T1, not Team 1 streaming into the base. Again, lots of T's, lots of numbers. Sometimes it gets a little bit tongue twisty here. There is a broadsword on station to help assist here from the player of Orb. Going to do what he can. Probably needs like 5 or 6 of these. T1 PD trying to be spammed up as quickly as they can by multiple groups of engineers. Love to see that. Be able to start pumping out as much as they can. And they'll be able to stave off some of the damage. Not all of it, but some of it. Favor has secured his kind of, rest, his kind of a little bit of break of all that pressure. Able to fall back, not necessarily fall back, but just relax a little bit, go after more eco, go after more, managing the southern side of things. Doesn't really have to pay constant attention to the northern side, considering, his comms should be under some sort of shield coverage to protect it, but he should be fine for now. Fine being the key word. And if is good. Shout out to those who know what phrase or what line that movie is from. It's one of my favorite animated movies. It's just a good movie. I just like it. Yeah, it's if is good. Maybe that'll be the. No, that can't be the thumbnail because how would that work? I don't know. Anyway, we have a couple of units getting past these units here for Sanoman, but it's going to meet some heavy resistance in the form of these Harmagers and Blazes. Not good at DPS and don't have a whole lot of health. And those of Aurora will just run away. Would like to see some Obsidians in this mix here for Immortal D. And I do see some, but they are over here and not over here. Sniping, says Orb. I mean, possible sniping on the cards here for Team 1's player of Orb. They are inbound those gunships. There's not, I don't see a lot of AA in the mix. There are multiple groups of ASFs here for Team 1, but the ASFs for Team 2 will engage with interceptor support, trying to go after Pavor. They'll take out all of the gunships. It was a nice sniper attempt. It does look like air will be in the hands of Team 1. I don't think it will be dominant, at least at the current moment. So I switch back to see what's going on back at base. But all those interceptors being a nice distraction for the ASFs. Those ASFs from Hyper 2001 staying online a little bit more longer than they probably should have been. Just it was good due to the interceptors, of course. So Pavor is saved. Will force the comm back even further. And so he does have stuff to worry about. He does have to worry about snipes. But if he gets back to base, gets under some shield coverage, he'll be fine for now. Just has to worry about telesnipes and that sort of thing. But at 20 minutes, telesnipes usually aren't a thing. It's usually a very desperation play, or it's a very 1000 IQ play. Usually it's one or the other. It's not really in the middle. And of course it is the 20-minute mark. We're going to look at ecos here pretty quickly. Team 2 in the lead at 850 mass per second versus Team 1's 775. About 60, 70 mass a second. Starts to float around those numbers, close to 100, but the gap keeps changing depending on power or, reclaim or whatever the case may be. And in terms of who do you think is going to currently win this game, please hit that like button and also comment down below. Currently at 20 minutes and 39 seconds. Who do you think is going to currently win? We have 4 for Team 1 still left alive, 3 for Team 2. Of course, we just had the exit of Azuros, the second highest rated player for Team 1, and we have, again, a very early, not very early, but decently early exit of 2 players here on that southern section. So the southern section is going to definitely suffer as the game goes on. The northern section going to suffer for Team 1 a little bit, but probably not as much for Team 1 versus Team 2. The middle has essentially, I think it's homeostasis out for the most part. Does look like there's a large force coming into the east. Very unprotected position here. Lots of T2 mechs. We have a couple of PD, not a lot. T2 facilities, T3 facility as well. They're going to split forces in from Immortal D. We'll be able to grab the ones that go on the northern section, not necessarily on the southern section, unless those Titans can get there, and Perseus are inbound as well. So maybe they'll stave off some of that incoming threat, but some of that will go in. And those forces actually just going to ignore this. We have a group of T3 Percivals and a couple of Titans coming on station here to help assist. And it does look like Sanoman kind of underestimated the move out from Immortal D, thinking he would move all of his forces south to intercept. Says, no, I'm good. I'm just going to go after these units that you have inbound for me. Only a couple of bricks in this mix. There's also a bouncer as well. But once those bricks are down, essentially it's just easy pickings here. And now the center that was looking very good for Sanoman has now flipped. There's a couple of bricks still on station here against T2 forces, but we should see T3 at some point start to, very much bulk up these forces here from Immortal D. He's bringing forth his comm fully repped up, has his shield as well. Love to see that. We also are seeing some bricks start to, pump out from this western side here for Orb, which was once Azuros' base. I wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of experimental. We do see a monkey coming on line here for Pavor. And I think that's it. He also has a Colossus that was just started. Azuros does make mention of the monkeylord for Team 2, I would imagine. Given why would you make a comment about your team's monkeylord kind of thing? I don't see any effort. It is planned, but it is nothing on the cards as of yet. The team, well, there is a fat boy, but 25% is going to take a minute. And those forces incoming here from Player of the Melee with the assistance in the middle, of course, from Immortal D will be able to stave off a lot of incoming threats here. Of course, that push didn't really amount to a hold on here from Sanoman. I don't know if it was just get rid of my T1 forces move. I don't know what the move was intended to do. But we have a huge amount of bricks coming in on this eastern side. I think I even see some Ilshis too. Yeah, there's some Ilshis here. So Cybran and Seraphim intermixing here on this eastern side. What was that? I don't know what that was. Was that artillery? Looks like there is a... What is that? Is that a loyalist on board? I think that's a... Oh, no, that's a UEF transport. Maybe it's... Oh, it's a Percy. Okay, it's hard. It was kind of hard to tell because the colors are mixing together. But there is, this side of the map very much going back and forth, never really staying in one side. There's not a lot of mexes, so it's really not a lot to fight over. But, a different avenue of attack, either a pincer maneuver or a hook maneuver, something like that does assist in just taxing the APM. And in, higher ranked matches, part of it is just, can you annoy the player and can you just tax the player's APM? Like, that, get them off balance, get them focused on other things, getting them off their, normal stride, normal line of thinking, that sort of thing. Being able to just disrupt their normal senses, essentially, what I'm getting at. Is, I don't know if that's the most important thing you can do, but it definitely assists in your ability to just keep pushing forward, keep, chipping away territory, chipping at mass, chipping at everything that your opponent holds dear. Pavor is, constantly going back between both sides. He should give at least some of this over here to, Sanoman to help support the middle. I know he wants to do it himself and keep all that eco. I don't blame him. He has 771 mass just himself, over half of Team 2's eco. I mean, it's kind of hard to give that up. It just is. It depends if it's on the way other side of the map, maybe. But if Twitchy Mofo didn't die, he would have easily handed that off to Twitchy Mofo, I feel like. But he feels like he can manage it, at least for the time being, better. So we'll see. I mean, he has built the Colossus. He should have built that monkeylord already. Yeah, it's right here. So he has 2 experimentals on the field at 25 minutes. All these bricks here to the north for Orb, starting to just pick away at all of his tertiary, his very outlying mexes that he claimed earlier on against Azuros. So, it's more about, like I said, taxing the opponent. How much eco can you take out? How much, APM can you diminish or reduce? This brick is just going to suffer artillery fire. Tries to get another mex kill, but doesn't really get a lot of work out of it. Melee is actually brought forth to help assist with this. He's like, I'm done. I want my mexes. They're constantly attacking my mexes. I'm done with this. We have engineers being thrown at their opponent on a attack move so they can reclaim everything. We have missiles inbound here from missile launchers. Don't tell me... No. That wasn't a missile... No, okay, those are mobile. I was like, don't tell me that's a stationary one. Because that's just not worth the mass to spend on a couple of NGs. But in terms of the rear, we saw that Fat Boy that we finished building. Is there anything else for Team 1? I feel like they have to have something. That Monkey was almost done. The first one was done. The second one is coming online. We have gunships coming into the east. Lots of firepower coming off those. The best air-to-ground gunship in the game. Lots of DPS on those guns. You can see thousands of hit points just being reduced to ash, essentially. Lots of ASFs for Team 1 from both Orb and Gamer9. So I thought maybe Immortal D would be the pseudo-A player, but Orb is the pseudo-A player here, at least the secondary one. And, Team 2's air isn't nothing to scoff at, but it's not to the caliber of Team 1's. There is some, AA brought forth some flak to deal with the gunships, but they kill that Colossus just in time. The Monkey will come in and go, oh, hi, guys, you didn't like the gunships. Well, you're not going to like this laser to your faces either. Of course, that second Monkey is finished. Maybe send that Monkey to come assist Immortal D in the middle and just punch through this position would be nice. There are some units kind of hovering back and forth. Immortal D does have, 24,000 hit points with some change. Does have, of course, 40 hit points a second. Regen needs to be cognizant of a couple of bricks that's just going to sit there slightly out of range. He sends some forces in, takes out some T2 mexes, just reduce the eco. Killing eco is always a good idea, except when it costs you more mass to kill something than it does for you to deny something else. We have this is dangerous. We have a Calm of Melee in the water with a monkeylord. Not a great idea. That Fat Boy will be, I think it'll be, well, depends if that Monkey comes out of the water. He's regenerating at 35 hit points a second. Not a lot. There is a crab. I'm assuming that we have Pavor going to move the crab in. The Fat Boy should be leaving. Oh, yes, I'd love to see it. He's producing AA, these Skyboxers. Yeah, they're Skyboxers. So T2 AA in the form of flak. That Monkey... It could try to come out of the water now. It could have sat right here and then just popped out, killed the Fat Boy, and then boop, popped back out. Kind of a missed opportunity there. The Percivals are on station coming into the water. Love to see that, Pirates of the Caribbean walk on land sort of scenario. Unfortunately, Melee's being attacked. He'll hear the Calm under attack notification and we'll know, oh, there's something in there. And that crab gets annihilated by Percy's. I'll be more focused on taking out the Fat Boy, and the Fat Boy's almost dead. That does not need to go in that water with that monkeylord nearby. We had some Corsairs, I think, come after it. Didn't really get a lot of action out of that, unfortunately. So that Fat Boy cannot go in that water, or it's dead. It does look like that Monkey here for Team 1's Orb has found a friend, but against the Colossus, I think it sides with the... Can't remember if the Monkeys can get in range and attack it before the laser really focuses on the Monkeys, then maybe they have a chance. I don't know if it's like a 2-to-1 if one wins over the other. I think just based on the damage, I think the Monkeys have it. There's of course some additional damage coming in from nearby units, but yeah, 2 monkeylords versus 1 Colossus. As long as the Colossus isn't attacking exactly at maximum range and has a couple seconds of delay, usually sides with the Monkey unless there are a lot of supporting units. So, gotta watch out for those entanglements. And having 2 Monkeys, probably 1 still online, actually 2 still online, very dangerous for Pavor on this western side. We have the Calm here. Looks like the Monkey was dealt with, but it did kill the Fat Boy. That's kind of what's going to happen. Gamer9 comments about torps. That's a lot of torps. That's Calm's level of damage. 47 of them. They want to kill the Calm. They know the Calm's in the water. Or at least was in the water at the a couple minutes ago. So they want to go after the melee. That would open up a nice Eastern engagement. Unfortunately, that would hand things over to Orb, and Orb has done a wonderful job on this northwestern side. Has 3 monkeys. Doesn't even care about crabs yet. Maybe he'll build a crab. Nope, doesn't care. Gonna build monkeys. Does not care. He's monkeying around over there. Aha, dad joke for those who enjoy my dad jokes. No, it's kind of a dad joke. I don't know. It's kind of hard to determine what a dad joke is anymore because I feel like half the jokes I know are like dad jokes by today's standards. We have an I online here for Gamer9. Love to see the Aeon T3 essentially. Like, I want to see that. Whatever's there. Okay, see it. And he can move it. They know that Team 2 has an eye as well. It's very vital. Oh, no, that eye got moved. What? Why do you have an eye here? Oh, it's saying go look at the eye is probably what they were talking about. I was like, why do you have a message that says eye when it's not even doing anything? Nuke online and loaded for Team 2's player of Hyper 2001. Will he launch it immediately? Will you launch it? Will you? Come on. I want to see you launch it. Come on. I'm zooming as much as I can. Come on, launch it. I want to see the little hatch open. Come on. Ha 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 ha. There it goes. There it goes. I was like, I'm going to watch. I'm going to move my camera away and he'll launch it. Looks like it's going right here. The SMD is not loaded. It's going to kill all this core mass. It's going to really hurt Team 1's Melee's eco. The comm, there are pings around that comm either for attack or move. Well, if he assists, no, he would have to assist a lot more for that. Going to get as much mass as he can per second out of those mass fabs. But this nuke is going to land. We are going to watch it. And it is going to be a very nice fireball. Kaboom. He takes out not as much as I thought he would, but 5 T3 mass extractors with a almost full dual ring of mass fabs. It's a lot of mass. It's a lot of mass to lose. Team 1 drops to 1.7k per second versus 2.1k of Team 2. Of course, mass is not the only metric to how well a team is doing or more likely you're going to win, that kind of thing. Land mass, how much you control of the map makes a difference. Map control, how many players are left alive, what's your APM at, what's your rating. There's a lot of factors. Mass is certainly a huge factor. We have Pavor at 1.3 mass with 1,000 mass per second. We have Orb and we have the Melee at essentially, that. So 2 players worth of eco under the belt of Pavor being a single player. So essentially, they're staying relatively on, scale with or step with one another in terms of you would combine Orb and the Melee into one person or combine their ecos. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 monkeys. This is going to be a nice entanglement. Who wins, 6 monkeys or 4 Colossus? That is the question that will be answered today. The monkeys do not have a lot of support, or at least in terms of additional support. Colossus have a little bit of it, but here they go. Another monkey and another monkey in the distance. This is a lot of firepower. And those Colossus go, no, I'm good. What? Pew, 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 says Orb. Yes, pew, pew, pew. That is definitely the word for it. It's like stormtroopers firing at the rebels kind of thing. Like they miss half their shots. It's still funny though. This monkey is severely wounded. 5 of them perfectly healthy. A 7th one joining them. An 8th one in the rear. We still no crab. Still no crab. Doesn't care. Just gonna build monkeys. Does not care. The monkeys, secondary fire doesn't do a lot of damage. In large numbers, forget what I said. Does a lot of damage. It forced off 4 Colossus. You can see how much damage they did. About 10, I'd say about 15,000. But, that damage does add up. A 7th monkey. We have 7 versus 5. I think this now might favor the Colossi with the additional support, of course. This is going to hurt, folks. Those Colossus still won't engage. Pavor's, I get it. You don't want to mass dump. I think he wants to pull the monkeys in closer, but you're giving more and more time for Orb to build up more monkeys. We have 9 alive now. 8 of them are right here. We have T2 PD being built as a secondary line. We do have 1 crab in the middle, but versus 1 Colossus. If the Colossus comes in, uses the T3 forces as cover, that Colossus will kill the crab, especially with the missiles coming in, with that crab not doing anything. Are the Colossus going to engage? No, they're not. A 6th one is on station. Okay, now throw them at the opponent. You're pumping them out very quickly. The engineers are almost under threat. You need to engage sooner rather than later. And that Colossus will kill. Ooh, hit points are falling very quickly. The Colossus does die. Gives some veterancy to that crab here in the east. And similar story, still having troubles doing, it's essentially just not a deadlock. It's still favoring Team 1 slightly, but, it is taking more and more mass just to punch through. 4, 8, 9 monkeys are on station. A secondary line of Cerberus being built. More and more experimentals being built all the time. Another Colossus will stand up. Number 7. Okay, please throw them at one another. Please. You have the numbers. You have the firepower. You have the additional forces. Yeah, there's a couple of T2 Cerberus, but they're Cerberus. What are they going to do? They're going to tickle those Colossus compared to whatever else you can throw at them. Team 1's Regal Purple player of Immortal D does lose the central position. Another nuke is launched here from Hyper 2001. Of course, SMDs have been built. Are they going to go after those monkeys? I don't know if it's worth it. They're not. They're going after the Fat Boys. It looks like 2 Fat Boys are on the move. They're building units constantly. Love to see those mobile factories being used for their purpose, or their secondary purpose of being just absolute monsters in that regard. But the nuke is going to land almost on top of a Percy. Kills 2 Fat Boys at his got to Earth. Team 1's front line. Do the crabs engage? Actually, the monkeys engage. Yes, they do. And the lasers are firing at one another. It does look like Team 2's Pavel was able to isolate some of those monkeys away from their brethren. But look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Colossus. Is another one in the distance. A monkey for Team 2 as well. I think that's for Team 2. Maybe that's for Team 1. I don't know. That's what I get for dodging something that doesn't exist. Yes, that's exactly what happens when you dodge something that doesn't exist. But this is Team 1's monkey. This is from Orb. Apologies. It looked like it was from Team 2. But this is going to kill a lot of build power here in the middle. And actually might just go after all these bouncers as well. Yeah, don't send the monkey back. Just keep sending it, straight back to that front line of Immortal D. We have a couple of bricks getting into the main base that was nuked here for the melee. He's just not feeling well today in terms of just cannot seem to catch a break. Freedom and Orb. There's the monkeys are engaged and the rest of them are engaging those Colossus. I repeat, the monkeys are engaging those Colossus. And the Cerberus are coming in to assist. Even if it's meager damage, it's better than nothing. We have, of course, 3 Monkey Rex in the distance. 2 more, 3 more. This is not going well for Team 1's Orb. 2 Colossi are down. 3 of them are down. Are we seeing more monkeys being thrown? I don't think so. I feel like Team 1's Orb should have engaged when Team 2's Pavor had 4 Colossi. I know he didn't want to mass dump. I honestly get that, but now that there's 5 online, the 6th one coming online here shortly, and the 7th one as well. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 monkeys, all of them dead. That's a lot of mass. We can check how much mass shortly, how much is on station or on view. 155,000 reclaim in view. A lot of that coming from Orb. So Team 2's player Pavor gets a huge boost in mass. And honestly, he might just funnel that into a Paragon at this stage. Build something back here in one of their teammates' bases. Or okay, forget what I said. He's going Scathis. Forget what I said. He also... forget the fact he had like 8 Colossi to the west or the northwest. He has 5 crabs down here. So Team 1 is like, what do we do with all these experimentals? I don't know how we're going to get through this. You know, one satellite is not going to cut it. You need like 30. Well, 30's a lot. 10? I'd say 10. 10's a good healthy amount. Well, I say healthy, but then you guys are like, 10 satellites? Are you serious? That's, you know, that's critical mass. I'm like, yeah, it is, but, you know, might as well use it while you have it. Restor's coming on station. Not really known for their ground firing, of course, but killing off NGs is, you know, not terribly difficult. Go after the AA. Always a good idea, of course. Take what is shooting you first out, and then focus on everything else. Lots of ASFs for Team 1. That is their advantage right now. They have a lot of air power. Team 2 has a lot as well, to be fair, but they have the, like, in terms of, I'd say 60-40 in terms of percentages. I think Hyper might engage with his. He has 228 versus, let's just go Gamer 9's 177, and then Orbs 160. So it's essentially like a 60-40 engagement. Of course, those Restorers probably add another 2%, so 62-38% here for Team 1. Corsairs running around the map, going after some of those sniper bots and artillery from those trebuchet. No, so those are Serenities. Apologies. I says Zeros. I don't look what's going over there. Maybe. Oh, talking about the Torp bombers. I think is maybe what he's talking about. Let's just look at this. You know, Team 1's in a deadlock with Team 2 in the east. I don't know which team it's favoring because, you know, mass is dying, but there's so many crabs. I know. Oh, wow. That thing is in the green. That was very quick. Lots of engineering stations in terms of these hives. RASCOMs, regular engineers. Lots and lots of build power. Team 1 needs to know about this, and they don't. They know a large group is here, but they're like, maybe it's just artillery. We don't know. And they need to get some vision on that thing, or that's going to hurt very quickly. And again, like I said, it's going up just, again, very quickly. Did I see a bug? I do see a bug. So we have... So Orb says, you know, the monkey thing didn't work out. I'm going to build a Soul Ripper, because why not? And just do more monkeys, because also why not? Feel like crabs would probably benefit him more in this regard, but Scathis now, says Gamer. What do you mean? Oh, yeah, now they mention that. Now they see it, essentially. That is going to hurt Team 1's, you know, infrastructure, mass, production, everything. It's going to just eat it alive. I mean, you know, to be fair, Melee has been eaten alive already. But I feel like in terms of targets that are vulnerable, the air grid definitely vulnerable here for Gamer 9. Secondary air grid. Actually, that's a mass FAF, not the air grid. I don't know now. Nope, those are still bugs. Not going crabs. He does not like crabs. He wants to go straight for monkeys. I don't know why he doesn't like crab meat. Crab meat is really good. I don't know what your version is to crab meat there, Orb, but you know, you have some reason. Maybe you're allergic. Who knows? Maybe you just like the monkey from National... Oh shoot, what's that movie? Oh, Night at the Museum, not National Treasure. That is a Nick Cage movie. That is a good movie. Add air grid is going to suffer very quickly. Needs more shielding. Has one which saved... Actually, that saved that air grid. Essentially pumping out restores. We have monkeys constantly firing their long-range cannons, going pew, pew, pew. And again, it is a good strategy. Long range versus short range usually goes the way, and they kill a Rascom. Monkey, a secondary fire. Is that a Scathis? Yes, Immortal D. That is a Scathis, and that is shielding. I love this here from Pavor. He's pumping out multiple gateways of Rascoms to scale his eco up. We have, of course, that Scathis constantly firing shields. You know, I mean, you need some of that Seraphim tech. So, you know, you have Seraphim tech down here that you haven't really used. Get some T3 engineers on station and just pump out shielding. Because you aren't the lowest. What's going on? Why am I being bumped? Because you're not the lowest? No, you're not the lowest. Emerald D is the lowest. Maybe get off. Oh, I mean, maybe. But, you know, he can fly around the map as much as he wants. It is not a bad strategy as long as he stays in friendly territory without any issues. But those Colossi are looking hungry. I said hungry. But Hungary, that's a country. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more monkeys, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more colossus. This is and one bug. You gotta think about the bugs. I wish the legs would retract. I think that'd give the profile, you know, a nice little update if the bugs' legs came kind of up inside a little bit, kind of curled. But that bug is not feeling well, and all those monkeys are just feeling. Turns out Mass Monkey Lord not good. Who would have thought? Oh really, Orb? Oh really? You didn't figure it out the first time you did that? And now, oh yeah, now you go crab meat. Okay, whatever. Just like, that's yeah. You would have thought like maybe you should have gone for something else after that first debacle, but this UEF base is just has seen better days. Shield online for Orb, building more additional shielding. Team 1 is starting to encroach, though. You can see lots of missiles going after targets that aren't moving. Mass Percy spam trying to just puncture into the space. Shields being spammed up for defense. 3 fat boys. This is, I don't know if this is deserving of a cinematic view, but I'm going to take it in terms of the UEF side of things. You're focusing those crabs that are in front of you. We have a laser overhead. That crab is probably going to die here. F's in chat says Immortal D. What's going on? We have 3 crabs in the middle here. Oh, F's for the Colossi, I'm assuming. It's not looking good here on that middle side, though. We have some restorers on station. At least I think those are, I would assume those are restorers given their speed. Don't think those are specters. They seem too weak or too small. Yeah, no, those are restorers. Were those megas all vetted? So much HP. One did die, though. To be fair, one of them is vetted. One of them is vetted. That one is almost vetted twice. Those crabs are starting to retreat, and there's that nuke inbound. Those fat boys either got to push or move out of the way. Unfortunately, there is a slow travel time because it is very close. Satellites, 2 of them online here for Team 2's Hyper 2001, constantly spamming out. I think those are skyboxers? Oh, no, those are parashields. Oh, I think maybe that's a cougar. Oh, that's a skyboxer. Will that nuke land where they want it to? The fat boys, I think, are out of range. A lot of support units will die. The shields are down for the frontline fat boy. Corsairs are brought in. A crab dies. They'll kill one of the fat boys. They're actually targeting a different one instead. There goes the shield. There goes the fat boy. Of course, there are some cougars in the mix. That fat boy is dead. I love that they went after the one in the rear instead of this one. They knew they could kill this one off, so that's 2 of the 3 fat boys gone. Fortunately, again, still being bombarded on this eastern side. If this falls, I don't think it's game, but it's definitely going to hurt. Of course, the Scathus fire just ravaging Team 1's backline, infrastructure, mass, everything. Team 1 is in the lead with mass at 2.9k per second, but this restore ball, very dangerous. Trying to sit on the sidelines of, or on the edge of that AA. That crab does die as well. There is a Tsar that has been built. I don't know if that's the best strategy. Of course, you know, there's a lot of AA in this mix from these cougars. You know, the missiles from this Tsar are going to be nice to start picking at the AA, not the AA, the Air Force is flying around. Rip, says Immortal D. Oh, his base. I think he's talking about his base. Yeah, his base is just not feeling it. This SMD needs to stay online to protect the rear guard. Of course, we have the comm of Gamer 9 on that Illuminar back there. So, it's just, you know, Team 1, you know, it's not over yet. Both teams very much in contention for this game. Hi, Hyper Style for the satellite, says Immortal D. Is he going to control K? I mean, I feel like when you say something like that, you're going to... But don't control K next to the restorers, please. Oh, there's a bug over there. You know, Pavward. Oh, look at all this, man. Look at all this. This is just... it's so much mass. So much mass. We have Zars going after fat boys. That fat boy's dead. Sorry, see you bye. Not going anywhere. ASF are going to try to be drawn into this fight. There's the word for it. We have satellites being used as actual defense satellites instead of offensive satellites. You would think that, with a name like defense, they would be used for only that, but they're not. They're used for attack as well. I feel like Team 1 might recall because Team 2 might just be too dug in. You have a huge amount of shields, of course, lots of crabs, lots of other everything. You have the rear, air facility has a couple of air facilities that aren't, they all aren't connected together. They're segmented. Love to see that. A fourth Novak's coming online. Of course, Pavor's dealing with, actually that's not Pavor. Pavor's dealing with his Colossal spam and Crab spam. And that Scathis, even though it's not doing a lot of work very shortly in a short amount of time, in long term it's really just taxing Team 1's, energy reserves. There's a Nuke online, not loaded yet. Don't know. Do I speed this up? I don't feel like I speed it up just yet. There's still some action, but Percy's need something to shield them, whether that be an actual parashield or something. Rambo comms would be a good idea. If they have a lot of hit points, they could probably get through a lot of this this crab fire. But throwing Rascoms at the front line is probably not the best idea. Nuke says Rekather Team 2 notices the Nuke is going to be heavily assisted now. Satellites over the top of other satellites. Oh, look at this. The melee has 4 satellites. And unfortunately, those overhead satellites are not getting through that one shield. Again, would like to see a secondary shield built just to assist with overlapping, fields of, shield. The thing is, though, is that if you take out mass fabs, they suck up your energy. And you don't have, if you lose structures that are costing you energy, you actually just net positive energy, so you don't need to worry about building more, T3 P-gens. It's good to have extras. It's always good to have, a million energy in the bank, but, if you lose something that's costing you money, and that's you're just netting money. Oh, no, it's not under shields. No, that's gotta hurt. Secondary facility is going up in smoke. I'd love to see the secondary shields, of course. Should have probably done that. Those satellites are going to try to... Where are they? They're down here. Where are they going? They probably could go... a second Scathis? Okay, now that's just... Where's it? What? Why? No, okay. Decides not to move it. It's still Team 1 spam with these... Are those Snoops? Those are Snoops! Snoops are not going to do a lot of damage and just tax the... fire shot the shots from those crabs. Essentially, over damage is essentially what he's going for. Reducing the eco, that's always a good idea. You need to go after something substantial at this stage. Mass, yeah, is a good thing to take out, but at 2.6 to 2.5, really, it's not going to matter a whole lot, especially with a second one coming online, and it's going up quick. 51 minutes in this game. Team 1, still leads with the amount of players left alive at 4 versus Team 2's 3. It does look like satellites are focusing something else. They're focusing on the SMD. That's probably a better idea. Team 1's melee probably should think about building some sort of backup SMD. They lost that one satellite. Building more as we speak. Satellite. The shields, again, not really good surrounding the secondary Scathis, but honestly at this point, those satellites should probably be focusing on taking that out. That's a huge threat. Team 1 must know about that. They can see it. They can see it on the edge. They can see it being built as we speak. They're assuming it, there's got to be something else. I don't know. Win air now, I think, says Pavor. Yeah, they're under some SAM coverage. They tried to go after something, but the 4 crabs are walking across the map down in the northwest side of things. All effort is being funneled into this from Sanoman. Pavor is going to try to hold this. 2 Scathis are online. That is enough to break through most shielding at this point. Of course, Orb is being attacked. He lost his shields and 4 satellites, and that's got to hurt. He's just going to take it, I guess. What's he doing? Oh, he's building... What's he building? Is he building T3? You will perish at my hands, says Pavor. That's a little taunt there. Players just trying to do what they can. Just go after vital structures. Go after P-gens. Go after anything. There goes the calm of Orb by Satellite Fire. It's now a tied game at 3v3. And it's not looking good here for Team 1. Nuke launching. They haven't taken out the nearby SMD. That's actually from Team 1. A third nuke has been built, spamming nukes out. That's an interesting strategy. How's the SMD loaded? It isn't even... Wait. Oh, there's one right there. I was gonna say... You're telling me there wasn't an SMD there the entire time? I was like, wait. But it's going... Okay, don't... Where'd all the crabs all died? For these crabs. Is it a partial share? Maybe it's a partial share. I thought this game was a full share. Maybe not. Oh, it'll try to go after the air. Misses it, but Gamer9 Control K is going... Dun 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 dun. Yeah, oh, gets killed off. Doesn't Control K. Gets killed off by satellites. I mean, doesn't control... Yeah, it doesn't control K. It's killed off by satellites. That is, yeah, it is a partial share. Look at that. For some reason, I didn't notice that. That's a huge loss here for Team 1. We can see the way this game is going. You know, it's essentially just Immortal D and the melee left standing. Immortal D was getting up a salvation. That's a very good play to take out those shields for that Scathis. But I think I'm just going to speed this up to 2. And we're just going to watch the Scathis fire rain down. Nukes landing down south, of course, going after Team 1's front line. Missiles are inbound. Will they kill off the melee? Oh, it's going to be close. Is it going to be enough shielding to protect him? No, but the Novax does protect him. Will the melee move is the question. But the calm of Immortal D goes down. The melee does move out of range before those missiles can get him. That was a very close play by those missiles incoming here from Sanoman. And Corsair fire coming in. Satellite fire coming in. There he goes. I was sure that having 3x 2K players will be easy win. And you can't assume that. You can't assume that just because you have the better average in players means you're going to win. I mean, Team 1 had 1720 and Team 2 had 1660. So, you know, it wasn't that much off, but, you know, it was a really good fight. You know, Zap says Orb. But, yeah, that satellite, oh man, killing that calm on that transport, that's gotta hurt. Again, almost reminds me of the Colossus grabbing the transport with the calm attached to it and kills the calm because of it. Essentially just like, you know, you are mine, and just, you know, force crushes it. But again, thank you so much for watching to the end of the game. Please like and comment down below what your favorite moment of the video was. Hit that subscribe button. Check out my Journey to 1,000 video. I'll be putting out one of those roughly once a week. It's the holidays, so maybe I'll miss this week, but at least going forward, it'll be about once a week. And again, thank you so much. In terms of MVP, MUP, I don't know. I liked Orb's play of just build a bunch of monkeys. I wish it had worked, but also I wish that he had transitioned to crabs the second go around instead of the third go around. And he probably should have pushed that advantage when he had, you know, was it 6v4, I think is what I initially saw it at. So, you know, it is kind of hard to judge. Do you go for it? Do you not go for it? But I feel like he probably should have gone for it a little bit harder and probably built at least a couple of crabs for long-range support. But in terms of MVP, MUP or most underrated player, I mean, building 2 Scathis is obviously impressive, especially with the eco that he had. I don't know, building lots of satellites, obviously a UEF play. You know, air grid was taken out, but it just wasn't enough. You needed to probably focus on the Scathis fire there. Who was that? That was the melee. Yeah, the melee. I don't know who to give it to. Nanoman did a great, solid job in the middle. 1500. He kept the pressure. He, you know, pushed back Immortal D a little bit. Kept falling back. He kept, you know, it was very flip flopping. I think Immortal D did a great job holding off the middle against Sanoman. You can see Sanoman, you know, did produce a decent amount of experimentals and whatnot, and, you know, kept doing a decent job of pushing in, but Immortal D kept holding the line. So I think in terms of most underrated player, I mean, he is literally the lowest ranked player in the game. I think Immortal D deserves at least a couple hundred more points of rating, at least. Probably about 13 to 14, I think, is where I'd probably sit him at. But again, let me know down in the comments if I'm right or wrong. Even though Immortal D was on the losing team, I think he deserves at least the most underrated player. I think the MVP goes to Pavor. I think that's kind of, Colossus holding on the north, Crabs holding on the south, and of course Scath's Fire essentially seals the deal. He's MVP. I mean, I know there'll be arguments probably for somebody else, but that's my opinion, of course. But again, let me know how you guys feel down in the comments, please. Of course, hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And again, thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. I know I kind of get a little ranty, a little off topic sometimes, but thank you for bearing it for me. I think that's how that phrase goes. And I will see all of you in the next one.